Hey there, do you ever feel like you get to a destination that you've been going for, maybe reach a goal, you get to something that you've been trying to get to, racing toward, and it's like enjoyed for a moment, but then you're like, this is really what I've been giving so much of my time or energy or effort to. This is what I've been working so hard for, and it has that like unsettling, sort of dissatisfied feeling. A lot of times we are racing toward a goal in order to get something, and it's not actually the thing that we're racing toward. What it is that we want the thing that's underneath that we think that thing is going to give us. So a lot of times we're just racing toward the wrong finish line, and we're in a series right now all about joy in the journey. And today we're going to talk about core desires, because it is actually a shortcut to getting the thing that you're really longing for, the thing that you really most want. Often you can have so much of that right now. And rather than wasting months or years of your life racing towards something in order to have that core longing met, if you know what it is, you can actually begin connecting into that thing right now. So I want to shortcut that process for you so that you don't end up investing so much of your time, energy, effort, money, life into something that isn't actually going to give you the thing that you most truly want. My name is Tally. I'm a life and personal development coach, and I work with leaders to create lives of overflowing impact in the world, centered in a place of joy. I'm all about getting you aligned to who it is you most truly are, get you firing on all cylinders, and get you creating a life that you love living, so that you can enjoy that life, so that you can be an overflow and make a difference in the world. So racing toward the wrong finish line is what we're talking about today in our series all about finding joy in the journey. So we've been talking about a lot of different things this week about being able to really experience your life right now, find joy right where you're at in the midst of the journey, rather than being so destination focused, being able to enjoy life here and now as you're moving toward goals and all of that. And I'm a life and personal development coach, and so of course I work with goals. Of course I'm focused on vision. That's a huge pillar of the work that I do with clients. And at the same time, if we don't have a framework for how to put that into context, this joy in the journey, then we end up racing toward things that are out here somewhere, instead of being able to access the things that we most truly want right now, right here. And the reality is those things are absolutely available to us. We're going to get into a tool that I use often with clients. It's called the Life Wheel. You've maybe seen this before. It's come up in other series that we've done. But I want to talk about this tool with you and help you identify what are the biggest drivers for you. What are the things that you're most longing for right now, and how can you access those things now? How can you have the things that you really, really want in life right now? And so we're going to talk about some of these things. I'm going to help you identify which one of these is, or which maybe a couple of these are most powerful for you, that are driving a lot of what you're giving so much of yourself to right now, and how can you begin to access some of that here and now. So let's see, what have we not covered so far? Getting clarity about the underlying core longings. So these are, you can call them deep desires, you can call them core longings. All of us are made to need all of these things. It's much like your physical body has to have air, has to have food, has to have water, has to have sleep. There are things that we just need in order to function, and the more we have those things met, the healthier we are. Same thing at an emotional, psychological level. So let's just read through some of these. I'll get it a little bit closer so that you can see it also. So justice, freedom, challenge, significance, worth, being known, having joy and love, a sense of belonging, comfort, peace, security, come through, goodness, recognition, approval. So we all need all of these things, but certain ones really resonate powerfully for us at different times in our lives. And so what is it, when you think about what you're giving most of your energy, effort, time to, what are those things? And the reason that you're giving yourself to those things, the reason that you have a drive behind those things is because of what you believe it's going to meet on one of these things on the wheel. At least one. And usually the things that we're really giving ourselves to, we believe are going to meet multiple things on the wheel. So if you can identify what those things are, it'll shortcut your process. So let me give you just an example. A lot of times, we see this in Hollywood a lot. We see people like running after fame. We see them running after money. Often in business, we see people running after power. And honestly, it's not, like, if you'll notice, power is not on here. Money is not one of the things that is on here. But we run after those things because of what we think money will give us. So for some people, maybe it is a sense of worth. Maybe if we have a lot of money, we feel like there's a sense of worth there, or a sense of significance. Or maybe we believe that money is going to give us a lot of freedom to be able to do the things that we want to do, to have the experiences that we want to have, to give to people that we want to give to. So maybe it's driven by freedom, or maybe it is a sense of security. Money often gives some people a real sense of security. So maybe you're running after that savings account, that investment portfolio, whatever it is, the income bottom line every year because of the security you think it's going to give you. Or maybe it's not security for you. Maybe it's peace. Maybe you're just like, I just want to have peace, and you have a belief system that if you have this certain income amount, that you'll be able to get to a place of peace. So what is it? What's the driver behind? For power, a lot of times it's a sense of significance. Like, we want to feel, everybody wants to feel a sense of significance. And if we make the connection in our mind that if I have fame, or if I have power, whatever, I will feel significant, or I'll have recognition, or maybe you feel like it gives you a sense of approval. Like, what is it? What is the driver underneath the things that you are going for? So look at the things you're giving your energy, effort, time, whatever it is, your resources to. Some of your most precious resources are your time and your energy. And what are you giving most of your time and your energy to? If it's more in relationships, if you're like, I don't get sucked up into running after power or control or money, like those aren't things. But maybe it's relationships, and maybe what you're really looking for in those relationships is a sense of belonging, or maybe it's that sense of approval or worth. Maybe you feel like if this person loves me, then I will feel like I'm worthy of love. And so maybe you're running after having something in a certain relationship because you want to feel worthy. What if you could feel worthy without that? What if you could feel a sense of approval, or a sense of belonging, or a sense of comfort, or a sense of security without the years you're going to invest in running after these things? And I'm not saying that any of those things that we give our time and our effort to are wrong at all. But looking at the why underneath, why is it that you're driving after that thing? And maybe that thing is something that you actually have access to right now. Maybe it's something you're already getting and not even recognizing how much. Or maybe it's something you could get right now. So let me give you some examples. Let's come up with some. If a sense of worth is something that you are running after, and you believe that it's found outside of you, what if you could start doing some inner work right now to connect into how worthy you are? Maybe it's spiritually, maybe it's connecting with Source and just hearing, how am I worthy today? If the thing that you need and want is a sense of worthiness, maybe you could get that right now in the next 10 minutes, sitting down with your journal and connecting in with Source and just asking the question, show me how I'm worthy as I am right now. That could be a thing. Maybe approval. You're wanting a sense of approval. So that's something that's, often outside of ourselves, but a lot of it is because we're missing it internally. So how can you approve of yourself right now? And maybe it is something that you want from friends. Like, one of my clients reached out to people and just said, what are the things that you really appreciate most about our relationship, or about me, or how I show up in a relationship? I forget how she asked it. And she just got feedback from people, and it was so affirming. Like, words of affirmation are one of her love languages, and she just reached out and asked for like input from people, and it was incredibly affirming. It was a lot of approval. She had a real sense of approval and belonging and recognition. A lot of things happen in there. So maybe it's asking for what you need. Maybe it's just reaching out and asking. peace, if peace is the thing that you really want and you're doing all of these things to set things up so that you can have a sense of peace, what if you could tap into that right now? What if you could connect into, I am in this moment right here, everything is okay? What if you could do some meditation? What if you could do some prayer? What if you could get around people that bring an environment of peace? There are probably a lot of things. If you know that's the driver for you, you could probably get really creative and find some ways that you go, okay, I feel peaceful when I do yoga a couple times a week. I feel peaceful when I make this a priority in my life. Like, what are the things that bring you into peace, and how can you add more of that into your life? So hopefully that just gives you some ideas of how you can start brainstorming. Just ask yourself, once you get clear on what are the biggest drivers for me, ask yourself, what is it that I can do to tap into that right now? And it doesn't mean you don't keep going for your goals. Of course, you keep going for your goals. But if you know what the drivers are, a lot of times you can just be experiencing it and having joy in the journey right now. So blessings. We'll be back again tomorrow on Leaders Alive with Tally, and keep leaning into this series of finding joy in your journey right now. Blessings.